So that begs the question of, does the artist make music because of the culture, or does the culture follow based off of the music that the artists make? For me, I feel like it's a give and take. There
Mm-hmm.
are anomalies. There are artists who will pull the culture into the direction that they want it to go, and then there are artists who will be subdued
Mm-hmm.
by the culture and will reciprocate the energy that the culture is giving them, and they will magnify it. And for me, it all stems from the individualistic society.
Mm-hmm.
People want to be individuals.
Yes.
People are worried about themselves. People aren't worried about, oh man, I just want to make you feel this and feel that, and I love you so much, and this. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love you. I don't care how you feel. I don't care this. I don't care that. That's what most people feel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, ain't nobody gonna be writing no love songs. And for the people that do, the frequencies, the energy doesn't compute. If your energy is here in that spectrum, and the love song energy is here in this spectrum, it's gonna shoot, go right past you. You're not even going to be able to receive it. You're not on the right frequencies to receive it. It's like a radio signal. You have to be on the right frequency in order to receive that signal.
Mm-hmm.
So people aren't on that frequency. People are this is an individualistic society. We have been raised in this society to think in that way, which is why even rationally, does it make sense for people to be a part of a family unit of 5, and then when everyone grows up, you got to be out this house at 18.
Mm-hmm.
You got to buy your own stuff. You can't drive this. You can't do it. Like what? What? That doesn't
Yeah.
even make any sense. The village mentality is gone.
Yeah.
All of that is gone. We are individuals. That's why you have people. That's why you have a family of 5, and all 5 of them have 5 different houses. All and they're single.
Yeah.
You don't even have a family. You just have a house. All 5 of them have 5 different cars, and they all live in the same house.
Right.
How does that even make any sense? People don't even want to work together. Why don't they want to work together? Because this is an individualistic society. I got mines. You got to go get yours. And if you don't get yours, oh well, too bad, so sad, because I still got mines.
Right.
And that is the energy that people put out. So when you boil it down to that, it's like, yeah, the enmity between man and woman, and women feeling this way and men feeling this way, and women feeling oppressed and men feeling like, oh well, okay, well whatever, and men feeling like, well now I feel oppressed, and then women like,
Yeah, I was about to say, now the men
say
are
all
saying
that
they feel
because
that.
that's some bullshit. It's like people don't want to hear each other out. But why don't they
Yeah.
want to hear each other out? Because they don't care. Because this is an individualistic society, and that's the energy that people put out. So that's the energy that they receive back.
I wonder if social media has something to do with the
Oh, yeah.
individualistic society, because I feel like that's always been present, where people are, human nature is we're going to protect ourselves first. We're always going to think of self. That is just in our nature. But I feel like it got a lot worse when social media came
Oh,
around
yeah.
and introduced followers, likes, comments, and things like that. Because then instead of social media being what it was intended for, which was to connect with friends and family and people from all over the world, or staying in touch with people who are on other parts of the world who you're close to, it became some type of crazy rat race competition with even your friends
Right?
and family. Like, people have lost relationships and friends and family and estranged
Bad
themselves
energy.
from people due to social media.
Bad juju. Bad
Man.
energy.
And that is just crazy to me, that you would cut someone off, or cut off a relationship, or cut off a family member over Facebook, over Instagram, over Twitter. And it makes me wonder if that is the reason why our society has progressed this quickly to being a all for oneself society and only thinking of oneself. And it also makes me wonder how if we can at this point, how can we reverse it, or how can we improve it to make it better? Because in some ways, social media is never going anywhere. It's always going to be here in some way, shape, or form. It is what it is to a degree. But I feel like in that same reality of knowing that social media will always be ever present, what can we do to manage it better so that we're not destroying one another and destroying our own mental with the energy that's being put out from ourselves, from artists, to other music creators, to just people on the street that you might encounter going to the store or going to the gas station? Like, how do we make this better?
You know what they say in Western societies? There's a saying that the squeaky wheel
Gets the
the grease. You know what they say in Asian cultures? The raised nail gets hammered down. That's what they say in Asian cultures. The raised nail gets hammered down. It's a mindset. So we automatically have the mindset of the loudest person, the most rambunctious, the most this, the most that, the most ignorant is the person who gets the most attention and all the rest of that stuff. So people are vying for that. That's the energy that they're putting out. We're not trying to work together. Nobody's really trying to work together. And by nobody, I don't mean me. Because we don't run that house. We don't run this house that way. So that's y'all over there. But I'm just putting it out in the atmosphere. So people don't want to work together. People don't want to vibe together. People are interested in their own self-interest. That's the energy that people put out. Then when they receive the energy back in, then they cry about how it's so unfair. But they don't want to turn the mirror back around and look at themselves to say, wow, this is how I've been treating other people. This is the energy that I've been putting out. And then when I receive it back in, I'm so blinded by selfishness that I can't even see it. And instead, it's just me. Like ridiculous. Sound like a damn opera singer. So it's just crazy to me. And for me, that's why things are the way that they are. It's really not going to get better.
You don't think so?
For me, I think the bloodlines need to die. There are people who think in a certain way, and then there are people who think in another way. Usually people who think more rationally are thinking about legacy. Thank God those are the people that are having kids. The people who think typically a little less rationally typically are doing things that serve self-interest. They're not interested in having kids. Good for them. Because we don't need them taking those ideologies and bringing them and spreading them down to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation to continue the vicious cycle. So it's like anything. It's like powerful nations, right? A nation becomes powerful. They become too powerful for their own good. They start becoming a little more lax. They start becoming a little more this, a little more that. And then you have more radical nations. And typically what ends up happening, the more radical nations will eventually take over and subdue the nations who are more fragile. And this is history. This happens constantly. It happened in Rome. It happened in a whole bunch of other different societies all across the world. It's currently happening here in America. So it's just a cycle that continues. So if we don't figure it out, then the energy that we put out, eventually it's just going to destroy us.